All units, Area 1, 480 in progress. Suspect in blue sedan, traveling east on 4th Street.
We're on our way.
Kids, what are you doing in my car? Get out of my car!
But Mommy!
No, don't mommy me! What are you even doing in my car right now?
Mom, we're playing Starsky and Hutch!
I don't care if you're playing the Dukes of Hazzard. You get out of the car and clean your room right now.
Hey everyone, it's Bargain Boy reviewing Bargain Bin games, and do I have a game for you guys? Now, seems like I'm on a roll here with these games based off of things, and today's no exception. If you like driving and if you like shooting, now let me talk about this game right here, Starsky and Hutch for the PlayStation 2. I'm not gonna pretend like I know the source material, but I know enough to see what this game is going for. Based on the classic 70s TV show, the game has you playing as the show's titular characters, as you solve crimes around Bay City, taking down dudes with enough style to shake a stick at. As always, let's talk about the story.
Bay City, normally a busy and dangerous place. Perfect for keeping two detectives jumping who like to play the game their own way.
Right from the start, you can tell the game is trying to go for that TV show feel. If the borders you see here didn't already make that obvious, then the levels set as episodes and seasons will. There are a total of 6 episodes per season and 3 seasons in total. Each episode has you playing through different missions, stopping carjackers, thieves, and even dudes on trikes.
A yellow trike? Now that's somebody who should be stopped.
An unspeakable crime like this must be dealt with appropriately.
Great shot! He's history.
But these aren't just separate cases, as each season has a story that defines itself more and more as you continue playing. The cutscenes also carry a nice little charm to them with a hard-edge art style fitting the theme of the game. Now yeah, these do look kinda goofy, but I guess that's what they were going for. The show itself, I'm sure, had a touch of goofiness about it too.
In some kind of hurry, punk?
It seems like this punk was just stealing cars. For who? He wasn't saying. Maybe a visit to the courthouse will help him remember.
Each season raises the stakes, so it's up to you to survive in this crazy freaking town and bring down some hard-ass justice on these low-life scumbags. With 6 episodes per season and things getting progressively harder in the second season, you'll find that this game has a pretty nice length to it. But the story will only be as fun as it is playing through it, so to that end, how does it play? Well, it runs like your basic driving games, but in the old school way. You know, where this was the gas and this was the brake. Remember that? It's the good old days. Anyhow, that's just Starsky's controls. What about Hutch? Well, he's been simply restricted to one firing button, the AI automatically aiming for you. Almost every level consists of you chasing down a car and shooting the shit out of it. You also have to keep up your viewer ratings, which is pretty much like a timer for your game. If there's no one watching your show, then it's game over, buddy. Kinda neat with the viewer rating thing, keeping with the theme of, you know, being a TV show and all. Though some things make sense and some don't. You gain viewers by shooting bad guys, barely missing traffic, and shooting the stoplight to turn it green. Well, I guess if they're going to be taking down traffic crime, then they might as well keep it flowing. Of course you lose viewers when you run into civilians or shoot allies, but oddly enough, you gain viewers for causing damage to public property. Alright, well, like I said, I'm not gonna question how that works. After all, Bay City is a dangerous place. You can't turn a corner without this shit happening.
Coming through! Bay City sure is a dangerous town. You're not wrong, partner.
In missions, you can shoot and drive over a lot of cool power-ups that help both your driving and your shooting. These range from speed and viewer boosts to double damage and better grip, which you really need in this game. Now don't get me wrong, Zebra 3 looks awesome, but it's more slippery than soap in the slammer. As you get closer to certain targets, you'll be able to fire on them as Hutch. Of course, this depends on where the camera is positioned. To get those really precise shots, you have to keep a focus on them for a second or two, dealing some heavy damage and a compliment from Starsky. But this can be a little problem, as this gives you little control to what Hutch is aiming at. If you have a bunch of targets cluttered together, it can be really hard for the AI to focus on the target you want, which will screw you over. But let's be honest here, where the game really shines is the co-op. You can't face the streets of Bay City without your trusty partner. That, and like most things, it makes the game that much more fun. So once you got that set, the second player takes control of Hutch, which gives the player free reign over the aiming reticle. So this time you can blame your friend instead of the game. Now, as fun as the game can be in co-op, sadly you won't find yourself playing it for a lengthy time. While every season does try to give you a variety in objectives along with some secondary ones, every level always boils down to chasing a guy down and blowing him to Kingdom Come. It's not like I want something like a first-person shooter segment to break it up or anything, but just saying, it'll wear on you. In terms of level design, a lot of these chases have been crafted in a way where you won't repetitively see the same stunts, though they do happen to reuse the usual asshole truck segments. It's clear that the levels have been designed so that the chase is lengthy enough that you don't just blow through the entire game. And that's understandable, you don't want your game to be too short. And all the episodes are placed in a semi-open world city. And by semi, I mean that the city is cut off into different areas. But it gives a player that feeling that one episode doesn't feel like a completely detached level than the previous one. However, that doesn't excuse the placements of some objects in this game. Like I said before, you can do some crazy stupid stunts in the game, but for some, if not most, you have to constantly be on the lookout, because it can crop up when you least expect them to. Shooting down these ramps can also be notably harder in co-op. You gotta be pretty on the mark in order for it to work. Now these are nice stunts, but they will end up screwing you over more than anything. Thankfully the game has a few episodes where the main objectives and formula vary, and while they are rare in the game, it's still pretty damn challenging. Speaking of which, you can also unlock some TV specials, which are 3 challenges to test out your driving and racing skills, which is a very welcome change of pace. Apart from that, there's free roam mode, which honestly really feels like the biggest filler thing about this game. You can choose which area in Bay City to go to, and it'll plop you down to collect police badges, all while keeping your viewer ratings up. And yeah, for the first 5 minutes after getting the badges, you're gonna have fun just goofing around. But to be honest, it just feels so hollow and purposeless. The only useful thing to do is to go around and study your environment before playing an episode, so you really know your streets, cause that's the smart thing to do. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do it. And you won't do it. Know why? Cause it's super boring. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Honestly, I really feel like this free roam could have been fleshed out more. Why not have some random crime occurring that you gotta stop? Get a call in and go to its location. Okay, alright, yo, I'm not expecting like GTA 5 over here. And don't give me that crap about technical limitations, cause Spider-Man 2 was able to pull off the same thing. I'm sure you guys could have taken a little extra time to do something else with this. But that's just something I really would have liked to see, and something that would definitely have kept me going back to play the game, to be sure. So I talked about the main things, let's talk about the little things. Well, for starters, you get neat collectibles you can scope for. These range from Huggy Bear card things, which I'm guessing earn the man's respect. Because really, who wouldn't want to? Dude, he's played by Snoop Dogg in the movie. Wouldn't you want Snoop Dogg's respect? Actually, that's another cool thing. The guy who plays Huggy Bear in the original show reprises his role for the game. That's pretty neat. Going back to the collectibles, you can also pick up different guns as you go through missions to give you some extra firepower. You can also collect car keys that unlock a pretty wide range of car models that you can use in free mode. While you play, there's also banter between Starsky and Hutch, which really adds a dash of personality to the game. But they'll even get on your nerves sometimes.
Come on, Hutch, stop acting like a rookie.
Hey, shut up, guy, I'm doing my best here. Other than that, has anyone who's played this game find it funny that the car they shot up just explodes in a charry, completely unrecognizable mess, and suddenly it just happens to have just a few scratches and bullet holes in the cutscenes? Just a little bit of overkill, huh, guys? There's another cool thing you might be interested in. The game actually is compatible with light guns and racing wheels. I don't know about you, but that's actually pretty cool. Peripherals, innovation. The last thing I gotta talk about, and I gotta talk about this, it's the music. God damn, such a funky ass soundtrack. The soundtrack is just so groovy and awesome. The minute you start it, you can just feel it. Honestly, huge props to the guys behind the music. It really adds to the experience. It's funky, it's hip, it's happening, and it definitely fits with the game. So in the end, what's my verdict for Starsky and Hutch? While I do feel that the game is repetitive and it could have been fleshed out a wee bit more, you're definitely getting your money's worth with it. It's enough to get you by alone, but it's a blast to play with your buddy and shotgun. It may not last too long, but you'll definitely have fun. Of course, it's not the best graphically, especially by today's standards, but the design and feel is something that makes Starsky and Hutch stand out. Like I said, I've never seen the show, but playing the game, it does pique my interest. So if you got nothing to play, go ahead and pick this out of the bargain bin and have yourself a nice gaming afternoon. So that's it for Starsky and Hutch, fellas. As you know, I'm the bargain boy, and I'm gonna go do my civic duty.